Good evening. We'll call the Hawarden City Council to order on Wednesday, September the 9th, 2015 at 5:37 p.m. Short agenda items tonight and all present for staff and council. First standard agenda item, as usual, is the approval of the August 26, 2015 council meeting minutes. You have those in your packet.
So move.
There's been a motion by Larry. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Tim. Further questions? All in favor then of the August 26th meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes 5-0. Approval of claims for payment for today, September 9th. We'll start to my left with Payne for questions.
None, thank you.
Okay. Tim, any questions? No. Travis?
No.
Larry, questions
No.
on payments? Monty?
Nope.
Hearing no questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Tim. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Travis. All in favor of claims for payment, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That again passes 5-0. Open business from the community. Seeing none, we'll move to the mayor's report. Just a reminder that election papers are due to the auditor's office on the 17th of September if you're wishing to be on the ballot in November. So you have to have 10 signatures, and those types of papers are all available here. Also at the council's auditor, or the auditor's office. And thank you to the volunteers and the businesses that volunteered and contributed for a very successful Labor Day weekend. Everything was well attended, it appears. Move to staff reports. Are there any, council comments? Anything from council?
Yeah, I got a couple things. That we went to a solar conference last week, and there was a lot of discussion about what you could do, but if you don't have your utility, having a program to either buy back or trade bank hours or whatever, it's kind of hard to figure out whether it makes financial sense. So I'd like to get some sort of ordinance passed on how we're going to handle that or what we're going to do with the...
We do have one, Tim, and I think the rate right now is don't quote me, but 2.87 cents per kilowatt. I can get you some information.
Did you ever discuss anything about banking and trading even up or anything like that? I know
yes, we have a distributed generation program, so we can get them set up if anybody decides to go with a wind or solar project.
And the other thing is Gary and I were talking to one of the people from the DNR or the waste management or whatever of Des Moines, and she was telling us about some programs where we could increase our recycling, and I think that would be a good thing for, maybe we could go to Lamar's and find out how they can do 60% recycling, and we're not even doing 5%. And it would save us a lot of money. And after last week, we saw our last meeting when the apartment owner didn't even know about recycling or didn't have anything for his renters to recycle. It seems like we should push our education efforts a lot and save some money for the community at the same time. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. Anything else from council members? Hearing none, we'll move on to staff reports, please. Mike, anything from your point of view?
No, nothing.
Okay. Mr. Pickner?
Nope.
Excuse me. Tom Kane.
I was approached by DNI Railroad last week, and they're going to do a track upgrade from Casey's going north, and it'll be a continuous track. And when they do that, they will keep the West 10th Street open, but they will close all the other crossings at a different time throughout that week. They're going to try and get them all done the same day. I believe it's quarter-mile sections they do. So they'll close them during the day and try to have them opened in the evening. They're going to be replacing ties and track. The fiber spool that is sitting on the corner of 11th Street and Avenue L is scheduled to be buried after the first week of November. And citywide cleanup is the first weekend of October. That's all I have.
Good, thanks. Gary Tucker, please.
Several items. We met today with DGR and talked with them about the street lighting on 10th Street. Because that's a state highway, we can't just put streetlights in, we have to have it engineered. And there are permitting requirements, and the DOT has specific regulations as to what type of street lighting, what, setbacks off the highway and the breakaway poles and yada, yada, yada. So we have to conform, and in so doing, we also have to have it engineered. So we've been working with them, and we've asked them to prepare some type of preliminary for the council to review that would give you some options as far as type of street lights you might put in, whether you want just a basic spun aluminum or do you want something decorative, and so they're going to give some options and different costs so that you guys can take a look at that and have some input. Sometime in the next couple of meetings, they should have something prepared and along those lines. We need to start working now in order to have, if we plan to do that or want to do that next summer, we need to get the permitting process started in the fairly near future so that we have permits by the spring to do that. So we'll keep you informed, and once they bring the preliminaries to you, if you choose not to, to do it, do anything, it's up to you. But we have streetlights that we removed because they're rusted through, and the other ones, there's many of the other ones that are in pretty terrible shape there. So we really need to do something. Also, in accordance with Chapter 20 of the Iowa Code, we've been notified of the intention of our local collective bargaining unit to open negotiations for the collective bargaining agreement. There's the one that we currently have in place expires at the end of 2016, June 30th of 2016. So we will need to begin that process, and I will have it on the agenda for the September 23rd meeting to discuss who we would like to as our representative for these negotiations, and whether we want to hire Harvey Wiltsey or a third party, or how you want to approach that. The last couple negotiations sessions that we've had, we used Harvey Wiltsey out of Omaha, Council Bluffs area. And we continue to work on the equipment installation at the CO, and hope to have the installation and testing completed by month end. I know there's some test sites out in the field right now, and I meant to catch around today, and I'm not sure how they're going, but I anticipate they're doing okay. But with any luck, we'll have that completed by month end, and we can set some rates and get started in the business. So that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Questions of staff by council? We'll move on then to other agenda items. Hospital project update, please. Jason Pullman.
Thank you and good evening. Just recently we had a new generator planted in the plant for the new organization. We went from a 35 kilowatt to a 500 kilowatt. So a pretty big jump in a generator. We were quite a bit underpowered in the old facility, and this will bring us up to code, and we'll have enough power to power the plant and then some. So that was craned in the other day. They'll be setting steel for the power plant, for the main power plant, where you'll have your main switches and electrical and boilers, and they'll set those tomorrow. And then once those are set, then they'll start putting the steel on the top to put for the new floor for the med-surg floor, and they'll pour concrete on top of that, seal it up, and then they'll start putting their electrical stuff in there. And once that's ready to go, we can then power it up and power the rest of the organization, and then take the remainder of the 1936 building down. 1936 building will probably be down, start to be down either next week or the week after. We're just waiting to get everything disconnected. So otherwise, we're ahead of schedule, and looks like it's raining again, and that continues to be kind of a challenge for us, but we're still above on schedule and moving forward. So Any questions?
No, we were just talking that some of these folks were born in that facility, so they'd be coming down, so.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you have to do. The upkeep on that building would be a lot of money over the course of many years, and sometimes it's better just to take something like that down and replace it with new, so. But it's built solid. So,
I think the citizens are looking forward to that going down and the new part up, so.
yeah, I know I've gotten several requests to give people notice when the building's coming down, so construction manager's gonna give a 48-hour window of notice before it comes down, and then we'll have a press over, and people, nurses want to come over and watch as it goes down, so the block should be filled with cars.
All right, any questions? Good, thanks again for being with us.
Yeah, thank you again.
Agenda item number 4, consider an offer to purchase a lot located 18th and Avenue F, the former well location. John, good evening.
Evening.
We have in our packet that you have put in a request visiting with Gary in regards to purchase of that. Do you want to give the council kind of an overview of your thoughts, if you would, please?
Yeah, something I've been trying to think about for the last few years, and made the decision this year that we'd kind of like to go on with it. With putting a structure on there within the next 3 to 4 years, and we'll be keeping the it is going with local contractors and showing them ends. Just trying to keep everything localized as much as possible.
John, when we sell these, we usually have you pay for like our advertising costs. Did they tell you that? And
We haven't, yeah, I didn't get into that with him, Jim. But.
Okay. Well, I see you had your offer here, but that's how we usually do it. We convey it to you with a quit claim, and we don't provide an abstract unless you want one at your expense, so.
Okay.
What kind of a structure are you talking, John?
Whether it be a building or a garage type, something to put a car in, a pickup, and a fifth wheel camper. Probably something along the lines of 36 by 52.
That sounds like a great idea to get another bunch of land off our hands and use it and get tax money from it. But you still have to put it up for a bid though, right? I mean,
Well, we'll have to
Yeah.
advertise it as a proposed sale, and then have an opportunity to come back on it and pass a final resolution. So it'll take, I don't know, take a month, won't it, the way it goes? Probably. Other people would have an opportunity to come in, but we haven't really had that happen.
so do we just table this for now, or do you want a motion for something, or what?
We'll have to come back. I'll have to have a resolution to propose a sale if you guys are open to doing it. Then we'll
Okay.
advertise, and then we'll come back and have you make a final approval.
Well, let's make a resolution then.
So is there a motion to direct staff to
Draw
proceed
it up
with?
and do what they have to do, yeah.
That's by Tim, you making that?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Larry. Further questions or clarifications? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Staff will be working.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
being with us. Agenda item number 5 is discussion and action on loan agreement, mortgage, and promissory note to Hawarden Chamber and Economic Development. Authorization of the city administrator to sign documents on behalf of the city. This is a continuation from an agenda item at our last meeting. I'll refer to Jim for information on how we put this together.
That's pretty self-explanatory. We just have it is set up as a one-year loan, but we have the mortgage set up so that you can make future loans that'll be secured by that one mortgage. I have it set up as a demand note, and that would mean that the city could demand payment earlier. Otherwise, upon sale of the building or in, I don't remember, September of 2022, I think it was, it would be due. And of course, each year the council will have the opportunity, they'll have to approve the next note. We'll sign another note each year as it goes on, but we won't have to keep recording new mortgages. So. And that mortgage is behind the one, there's already an existing mortgage to Hawarden Municipal Utilities. It would be behind that mortgage. But that mortgage will be getting paid off with these funds so that we'll have a first position when that mortgage is paid off. Questions?
So moved.
There's been a motion by Travis. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Kim to enter into the loan agreement, mortgage, and promissory note to the Hawarden Chamber and Economic Development Corporation. Would be prudent to have a roll call vote with this, or voice vote sufficient? Mr. Bickner?
Voice vote sufficient.
Okay. Further questions or clarifications? Hearing none, all in favor of the loan agreement, mortgage, and promissory note, say aye.
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 Those opposed?
No.
On a 4-to-1 voice vote, loan agreement, mortgage, and promissory note passes. Consent agenda this evening are both from the Sportsman's Lanes and Lounge for liquor license transfers, both on September 12th and the 19th. Obviously, all the paperwork is in, or it wouldn't be on our council meeting. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Payne. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Tim. All in favor of the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That passes 5-0. No other agenda items. Our next meeting will be held September 23rd. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Larry. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hawarden City Council is adjourned at 5:56. Thank you.